All right, y'all. I know you guys have seen my nephew about 1,000,000 times, but we blessed him on this one. We did a little bit different. He's never gotten a haircut like this on one of my tutorials. So look at that boy. Chill out, bro. Why you look like that? Look at him. The young bull. All right, we're getting some moisture in the hair because he got curls, so you gotta have a lot of moisture. And look at his hair, bro. This is why his mom, and I'm sure a lot of moms could relate, be on top of him because thing is all matted. We're doing a section here. This is some DFS formula stuff that I'm trying out. Again, I ain't all there with DFS formula, but I'm trying. And I got a one-on-one class set up with Josh here soon, so he's about to get hands-on with me, get me better at it. They offer one-on-ones DFS formula, so I don't know if you guys have been on their website looking for those, but honestly the price ain't bad either. My section right there could have been cleaner, but he got curls, so I'm not that worried about it. So I'm gonna start off with my perimeter all the way around. This is gonna be the longest length that I'm cutting below the parietal ridge. And obviously by pulling that hair down, the hair above the cutting line is gonna be longer, right? And so I'm doing this all the way around, and then I'm gonna do another line around this head, but it's going to be towards the nape area because we're getting it ready for a taper, like a mid to low taper. But I still want that shape to flare out and then round. So here if you notice, our cutting line is right at the nape area, like at the temple down to the nape area. And we're doing the same thing, cutting line all the way around. And that's gonna be pretty much finger length because I gotta do a taper and it's gotta graduate. It's gotta go into that longer length. So now that I got my cutting line at the bottom and my cutting line at the top, at the highest point, I can now start to do sections all the way around where I'm connecting that bottom line that I cut to that top line that I cut. And obviously, by doing that, you're gonna go from shorter to longer. And so we're doing this. If you notice, we're gonna go down and then just meet it. So now we'll start at this side. You guys can see where the disconnection is. And we're doing that all the way down till we get here. And we already cut this area. You can see the shape. See that shape? How it's graduating to that round shape? All right, so we've pretty much done the sides. Now it's time to start to cut the top. If you notice, I'm pulling the hair towards my chest. And I'm cutting all the way around, pulling it towards my chest. And this is gonna help create that rounded shape. But as we get to the front, because of the shape we're trying to create on the top, I start to pull out towards me. This is stuff that I really need to work on some more, that I need to understand and learn a little bit more, but taking the online course has been helpful. I'm just at a point where I need hands-on training with this to really understand and feel where it's just sanity check, because you're still questioning yourself with these techniques. So now we're gonna go ahead and cut the length of the fringe area. And now we can start cutting the top. So sectioned it through the middle. You guys can see that's my cutting line right there. We'll do that all the way across. And I'm checking for the previous cut. And now we'll cut the other side. Doing the same thing pretty much, but now we have two sections. See that? So now we can connect that. All right, and then I'm gonna put some foam in there, some mousse, pretty much. It's great for curls. Get the curls all saturated, and we're gonna use the diffuser to bake the curls. I suck at curl styling. That's another thing that Josh OP is nasty at, is styling. I gotta figure that out. My wife though, she be trying to put me on because she's a curl expert, and she explains to me verbally how to style these curls, but I don't know. I think it's gonna come out okay, but still frizzy, not the way that she would have done it. Her curls would have came out way more defined. All right, but real quick, before we continue to cut, you see the shape that we created, right? It's nice and tight behind the ears, around this area, and then it shapes out and then rounded. And that's how the shape looks all the way around. From if you're looking at him head on or you're looking at him from the side, it's got a nice shape. And now we're gonna do some clipper over comb and prepare the temple area and the nape over here for a nice, clean, blurry taper. Let's continue. So I did some clipper over comb there, and now I'm just using a number 3 open to connect into where we left off with clipper over comb. If you notice, I'm taking my time just making sure the hair feeds into the clipper. So we balded him out, and now we have the half guard closed. That's our first guideline, and then we'll start to take out that section. I went closed, and then little by little, notch by notch, I'm going up until it's blended. And I know by the time my blade is all the way open, it should be blended. Now we're going on number 1 guard closed, number 1 guard closed, and we'll blend that section out with the half guard back on, or the 0.5. And I like to go about halfway open and then close it little by little, fading down. That way I don't bring the fade up too much. Now I have my 1.5 guard closed, and we'll start to blend that section out with my number 1 guard open and closing it little by little as I'm blending down. By blending down at each of these sections, it'll keep me from bringing the fade up too high. All right, and now I'm doing scissor over comb just to refine it. Gives me more control in these darker areas, because I don't want to make these darker areas too light, because then you mess up the gradients, right? All right, so we got the trimmer here, get it nice and bald in that area, and then we'll start to blend the C-cup. I just want to show you guys, that's not hairline, okay? That's hair that's hanging over because his hair was so long. And so I was lifting the hair up to see where his hairline is, instead of lining up overlapping hair. And now section by section, we'll start to pull hair down to really get that line nice and sharp. We're doing the same step on this side, the same exact steps. 3 open. Notice I'm doing some scooping, some clipper over comb to get it blended into that longer length of curls without making it look disconnected. I don't want it to look disconnected. So same steps, clipper closed, half guard. Start to blend it out from no guard closed, and then open it little by little. If you notice on this section, I'm not blending down, because if I go up a little bit too high on that portion, I'll be fine. I got plenty of space to come get it back together, you know what I mean? 1 guard closed now, and then we'll start to blend that section out. See, I'm blending this section out with the half guard. Number 2 guard, lever closed, and then we're opening it little by little until it's blended into where we left off with that 3, because we started with a 3. Now we got the 1.5 guard halfway until it's closed, and then we'll bring it all together with the 1 guard open, closing it little by little. You guys can see the blend is coming together. That thing looking clean. Doing some trimmer over comb, some refining, and now we'll start to put the C-cup in. making sure that it was even, and then walk it over. Even with the other side, right? I was checking real quick. All right, and now we're gonna do the back. And it's the same steps, guys. Clipper closed. Half guard closed, 1 guard closed, 2 guard closed, and then the halves in between to bring it to marry them together. This is my 3 open. Look how I'm scooping to create that shape. And by using this comb, I learned this from Martha. By using that comb, it just gives an extra number 1 or an extra, what is that, 1/8 of an inch to the guard that you have right now. And it gives you a little bit of control, being able to like lift off a little bit. So I got a nice strong foundation. So you guys can see, let me pause this real quick. So what I did was I was laying the foundation. So it's bald here, okay? And we did a really nice job with that 3 open of bringing this down to a 3 open, all right? But then 3 open with the comb to continue. Look how nice that gradually goes into the shape we created with the scissors. So now we know I'm going from the trimmer from bald to a 3 open about this point. So I have from here to make a really nice blend into this nice dark area while it still maintains that really nice curve and shape into the round of the head. I think it looks nice. There might be some barbers that are watching this, man, I hate it. Then when you go look at their Instagram, no, let me stop. That's toxic. I want no problems. All right, so same steps, guys. Half guard closed, and I will start to blend that area out. I will say this, man, look, everybody has their preferences of styles and cutting hair. You can cut hair like me and be booked, be in demand, have plenty of clients that want to get their haircuts with you. But you could also be a barber like me and have plenty of clients, customers that won't rebook you. And that's how it is in barbering. Doesn't matter what kind of barber you are. Your favorite barber on Instagram or YouTube, they are not locking everybody in, because there are people who sit in their chair and for whatever reason just has a different preference. There's people that will sit in your chair that don't even, they want a good haircut. To them is them getting out of your chair and they're not even looking like they got a haircut. As crazy as that sounds, any of my barbers that can relate, please comment below. But as crazy as that sounds, there are people that they don't want to look like they got a haircut. That's the definition of a good haircut to them, and they will pay a premium for that. As crazy as that sounds, there are some people who would think that this is a high taper, where to me this is like a mid taper. There's a million ways to skin a cat. This is why I believe that barbering's an art. All right, so you guys can see most of the taper is complete. I'm using some thinning shears, not into the curls. Don't ever put thinning shears in curls, but more so in the areas where the hair is too short to curl, and so they're straight, but they're long, so it's not smooth into the gradients area. So I'm just using the thinning shears to take those bumps out so that they'll lay a little bit nicer. Hopefully that makes sense. Just thins it out a little bit. And now we'll start to put the line in. Look, so if you can see through the hair, see how a barber might line somebody up right here. A barber might just line somebody up right there, believe it or not. But more than likely his hairline is actually over here, believe it or not. And so if you line him up, you're gonna be able to see through the hair. It's just not gonna be that sharp of a line. Impossible that it'll be sharp of a line, because there's just not enough density there. Hopefully I'm making sense. Notice I'm going right where the density begins. Going right where the density begins. Not higher than where the density begins, but right where it begins, so that you can get a nice solid line. See, that's where the density begins. And you can go a little bit lower than where the density begins and it'll look denser. See how I'm a little bit lower than where the density begins? And as soon as you put that line on it, That line looks nice and sharp, and all the hair above that line looks denser than it did previously. Lining the nephew up, trying not to bring up his hairline too much. He doesn't have obviously the best frontal hairline because he has like a cowlick right here. But once we line it up, as long as we keep it natural, it looks good. It looks really good. And I'm using the Babyless FX1s. I'm loving these. I'm loving having the interchangeable batteries. And then I got the dock that lets you charge 6 batteries. I got 4 or 5 batteries charging. All right, now we're using the straight razor. Leaned him back so I can get against the grain a lot easier. Because I like to get against the grain or across the grain to get the sharpest lines. And you can see the ash. Now, guys, hold on before my enhancement haters go in on me and tell me I'm protecting this haircut. Hold on. It's a little hard to see it from this angle, but you guys can see them lines are nice and clean, nice and sharp, nice and symmetrical. See that corner right there? That corner's light. You're not gonna see a nice sharp corner like you're gonna see on this side, but I kept it natural. I kept it matching this side. So I don't wanna hear no haters. And y'all can see that's a clean, nice, sharp line, nice, blurry. Come on, man, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. I'm not hiding nothing. All right, we just enhancing the cut. You guys can see it's a nice blended taper. My boy Georgie, he went straight to the enhancements a little too quick, but you guys can see that thing blurry, okay? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding though, guys. I don't care. Let's watch. But hey, that thing. So this is what I'm saying. Like, even this right here would be a high taper to some people. So guys, this is the before. Boom. Now look at the after. Come on, man. Look at this. To me, this is nice, man. I like the shape all the way around, the way that the blend goes into the shape, even on the sides here. There you go, that's better. For some people, that's a high taper. That's not a mid taper. And then for some people, that's a low taper, believe it or not. That's blurry. Right here, there's a little bit of a line I could have taken out. I'm just noticing. Oops. Almost had to slap him right there. All right, you guys, that's the cut. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that tutorial. I'm rusty. I might have cut, I don't know, done 25 haircuts this whole year. I'm not prime Basio, but I have passion in this. I love cutting hair. So if I could teach anybody, some beginners that are watching YouTube still, hope this helps, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So see you guys in the next video.